My name is Rich Shoemaker, and I have a YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing a fix that I had to do using the plugin system of vMix. Now, if you're unfamiliar with vMix, it is an amazing piece of software, and one of the abilities it has is to use VST plugins. Now, on TikTok and also on Fruit Labs, I go by TikTok Tick. It's a childhood name merged with, obviously, TikTok's name. My nickname as a kid was Tick. So what I've done is I have created Tick Plays Games. And the first time I played a game called Skate 2, the audio was so horrible I almost didn't publish anything from it. So I had to go back and make surgical strike fixes as well as enhancing the audio so I don't sound like junk. Now, there are two main problems, and as you watch the video, you'll see them. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe. I will be doing more content like this going forward. And thank you very much for checking out my video. Oh, and I'll be at the end too if you make it that far. It's a really long video. Hello, everyone. On this episode of Tick Plays Games, not only are you not going to see me on camera because it's not necessary, we are going to get into something deep down. We are going to be going into the heart of audio, and I am sure right now you cannot hear me because that's kind of the point. We're trying to fix the audio as it is cruddy. So this is vMix, and I am going to go to my audio channel right now. As you can tell, that is the audio master, and the volume is very low. You can barely hear me. And I can easily raise the volume, but that is not going to fix the problems that we are having. So where I'm going today are into the plugins. Now, the very first thing that I tell anybody to do is put on a span plugin. Now, I am going to do one additional thing first so that you can hear me better. I am going to use my L1 Ultra Maximizer. So you should be able to hear me a lot better now. Now, if you look at my spectrum analyzer, see that big giant spike, everybody? I've got a 15K tone. I already know it's 15K, but if you don't know, and the reason I know is because I've already done this, you go over to where it is. It's 16K tone. I said 15, it's 16. The reason I didn't make any noise was I wanted to see, as the audio went down, if I also had an issue with 4K and 8K. Because in previous issues I've had with audio, the 4K tone is, I would say, 1/8 the height of the 16K tone. Then the 8K tone is a harmonic frequency above that, and it's double the height. And then the 16K tone would be this height. So you get three separate tones. And I needed to check if there was more than one fix. So the way that you would fix something like this is with one of two things. Well, it's actually one of one thing, but there's two different ways to do it, is a better way to say it. I'm going to use my standard Waves plugin. And yes, I do have several plugins. I mean, these are all plugins, audio plugins. I have different companies that I've purchased and gotten audio plugins over time. I used to do a lot of audio stuff, so I own quite a few audio plugins. And audio plugins are super useful in vMix. So I like Waves for what I'm doing right now. And I actually need what's called an equalizer. And in Waves world, that are Qs. So Q1, Q10, Q2, Q3. Now, in this situation, I normally would go with more Qs than I need, meaning I'd go with a Q2 or a Q3. The reality is, I only actually need a Q1. I'm trying to fix an issue. Now, what's interesting is I have just thrown the Q1 on here, but I'm going to minimize it real quick. It is in the wrong spot. This is what's called a plugin chain. I want the EQ first. And in this plugin chain, it goes from top to bottom. This is actually last. Opposite of what I need. So, boop, 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 boop. Now it's first. And now I will get it back up on screen. And I will take this audio plugin and I will put it where I want approximately. And the best way to do that is to come down here and type in 16111, enter. Now there's two different ways that I can do this. I can do this as a surgical strike, meaning I just take out the 16K tone. And I'll show that to you first. Surgical strike. Ah, of course I messed that up. And this makes it wider, not surgical. Boom. That's called a surgical strike, in my opinion, or the way that I speak. And what I mean by that is if we go back to the 16K tone, ooh, it's still there. Why is the 16K tone still there? Interesting. Okay, let's see something. Can I move this to the side a little? I need to see that 16K tone. And double check. The spectrum analyzer is at the end. Okay, good. Okay. So back to the 2. There we go. Now let me just move this real quick and see if I can surgically strike it. Ah, see how it's going down? And then it's going back up, obviously. So I was off by a little bit. Wow. It's not quite 16K, I guess. My dog's barking. Pixel, stop. See how it keeps going down and down and down? It's actually closer to like 15.77 something. And then it goes back up again. So yeah, it's right about there. Now, if you notice, wow, it didn't go down all the way. Now, I do have an ultra maximizer on it, and that's probably making it go up more. So in a situation like this, where one Q1 won't do the trick, you know what you do? Add a second Q1. Now, you're probably thinking, well, why don't you just do a Q2 and do it twice? Because you're not going to get twice the effect. Basically, you need to duplicate the effect to get it twice. And I don't think in vMix currently I can just copy and paste that. And again, same problem as before. I need to move it back up. And I want it to be the second one, as I already have one. So there's the second one. And we've learned previously, that it's about 15.7771 or some nonsense. And I am sure it has to do with audio cabling and video cabling and power cabling all overlapping. So again, I know it's about 15.771. So I'll come in here and type in 15.771 or 711, something like that. It'll pop over there. I will narrow band it. That's what this is called. This is called a narrow band EQ. And this is actually a notch filter, a narrow band EQ. It goes by a lot of different names. And now I will turn it on. Oh, turn it on. And I will apply it. Oh, I used the wrong one. I went the wrong way. There we go. And look, it's gone down some more. And holy mackerel, that tone is just like killing life. See how it goes up and down depending on how close I get? Wow. Okay, I might need to do... I'm using my arrow keys now, because with the arrow keys, you can get a little bit more specific. Whoa, see how it just dropped? 15.771. And then when I go down one, it goes up. And when I go up one, it goes up. So 15.771. 15.771. Wow, it is still there. What an annoying hum. I'm going to do it one more time. I'll just keep hammering that nail until I finally get it to go in. One more time. One more time. Q1 again. And now we know, and I can just dial it in. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go like that. Sometimes they don't. Rotary knobs are difficult to use when you're not using a rotary. 15.771. And let's, before I hit enter, let me do this again, because I want to see what happens in real time. So here's my spectrum analyzer. And I hit 15771 right here. 15771. And then when I hit enter, bam. It did not take it down at all. Zero. Nada. Ay. Okay, that's bad. It's a bad sign. That's not so good, Ski. Yeah, not happy about that. Oh, everybody out in the studio audience, you probably know why it didn't take it down. Tick forgot to do what he told you to do. So before I do that, just so that we can see how it affects it. And what did I forget to do, everybody? I forgot to move. So the reason the spectrum analyzer didn't show what I was doing is because the effect is after the spectrum analyzer. So put it in the right spot. And let's go do this again. And again, I only have the L1 maximizer on there so that the volume is loud enough for you to hear me right now. Typically, you don't turn that on until later. So here's the Q1. Where's my Q? Oh, okay, it's been suspended. So, bam. Oh, okay. Now I'm, 15771. Got to make it 15771 or else it's not going to work. Watch this, everybody. And enter. See how it degrades one more time. And voila, magnifique. It is low enough that I can survive with it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a roll on the high end. I don't really want the high end in there. Like the very high end, I really don't want anyway. And I could have potentially gotten rid of the last of it with the roll off, but I like to add roll off later. And typically I will use a 2 or a 3 just in case I need to do something later. I have the room to do it. Now, again, mistake I made last time, it's at the end of the chain, move it, and there we go. So it's Q1 for a fix, Q1 for a second fix, Q1 for a third fix, and then Q3 I'm using for what's called a roll-off. And there is a specific one here for roll-off. I always get it backwards, but I think it is this one. And here, and then I'm just going to roll off the high end. And real quick, let's get our spectrum analyzer up here. And we will do a add-in. So if I go like this, see how that tone just comes back a little? Now, we've already killed almost all of the high end. But instead of putting one more notch filter in, I'll just kill the high end with what's called a roll-off. Boom, roll-off gone. Boom, woohoo! We've gotten to what I call a starting point, meaning that I've fixed an issue that exists. And Tick plays games, yes, overwrite. Now, I am overwriting this file because this is my master file and I do not need revisions of it. As I make fixes, it's fixing it for each of the future ones. But if you have things that you're testing, I recommend creating versioning. Version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. Now, I'm going to take the L1 maximizer off and my volume is going to drop. And you can watch this happen. So let me put this on screen. Put this on screen. I don't know if I can have them both on screen at the same time, but let's try. Here is my volume when I am talking, and you'll be able to hear it as soon as the L1 maximizer goes away. And now here is my volume after. The L1 Ultra Maximizer is basically something that gives you the let me actually say it. The L1 Ultra Maximizer gives you the maximum volume. It is a combination compressor something else. I don't know exactly how to call it. I call it easy and quick, like rat on a stick. It's super easy to use. But in this situation, it will mess with what I'm going to do next. And the next step is very important because I need to find out how I'm going to do the miking of this mic. I'm taking my Shure SM57 industry standard $100 microphone, and I am using a plugin called IK Multimedia. Now, hopefully, I still have one more day left on my free trial. Not authorized. Well, this was a quick video. Oh, let's see if it authorized it. It might have. So here's my source, SM57, and here's my target. And it's a condenser mic, and it makes my voice thicker. Now, I do understand what this does. This raises and lowers the volume. I don't know any of these buttons. I do not know either of these buttons. So clearly, I need to learn these buttons. These buttons are key in doing what we need to do to get it to sound the best it can before we take the next step. Now, one of the reasons I'm here fixing the audio today is because of the nonsense and hooey from this Xbox. Let me turn this microphone around just so you can hear what I call nonsense and hooey. Now, one of the advantages of using an SM57 is I'm clicking right behind the mic. I am literally 5 inches behind the mic, and you don't pick it up that much. Same clicking level. Now I'm going to put it in front of the mic. See how loud and how the volume changes just by that small change. This mic is using what's called a super cardioid pattern, and so it doesn't pick up a lot of room noise. Otherwise, we'd be SOL. So the way that you learn buttons is both by reading a manual and pressing them. Depending on whether you like pressing buttons, or if you like learning stuff through reading. And it's a combination for most people that read things. They read what it does, and then they go in and they press the buttons second. I typically rely more on my ears on this, so I'm going to crank this volume. It's pretty loud. And let me get my headphones volume a little bit louder. Close this real quick. Headphone volume. There we go. Headphone volume. Now, the headphone volume we were looking at, wow. I can hear that Xbox clear as day. So this means time to do something different. The same way I got rid of the audio tone. I need to put a low end cut on it. And maybe I can get rid of that. So the same way I put a cut on the high end, I'll put a cut on the low end. And this plugin actually made that blatantly obvious that I had to do that. Cleaning up my screens real quick. And back to this, going back over to audio, plugins. And I will turn this off. There we go. So now, let's look at the spectrum analyzer. Put this up in the corner. Spectrum analyzer. Move over here. Spectrum analyzer. Put it over here. There we go. Now, to truly test if this audio that I'm seeing is the Xbox, two things. First, turn the mic towards the Xbox. Second thing, and see how I sound like I'm on the other side of the world? I'm behind the mic now. Next, turn off the Xbox after I stop talking. And I've turned the mic back. As you can clearly tell, it's the low end. So I'll turn the Xbox back on, and then I will come into the Q3 that I created. Remember how I said sometimes I put a couple extra ones on there? I'll activate this one, and I will pump it down. And then I will widen it out a little, and it's a low cut. So low cut is that. And now I will bring it all the way down. I have no idea what I just did. Oh, there we go. Just trying to increase the strength. Now, again, you just basically test the way the audio looks by visually looking at it. I rely on my ears and my eyes because I can. So with this off, let me flip this around because it's low. When it's high, having this on the right makes sense. When it's low, and again, I'll turn the mic towards the Xbox. Yes, you can hear me, but I probably sound like I'm in the distance because, again, I'm behind the microphone. And I'm just moving this over so we can see what's going to actually happen. See all of that low end? Now, it didn't take it away completely. But again, I'm pointing the mic directly at it. When I spin the mic, almost all of it is gone. So what I'm going to do now, guess what, everybody? I'm going to double it because, again, I didn't fix it. And I don't need the low end, per se. Sometimes you need the low end, sometimes you don't. My voice is going to sound a little tintier, but I'd rather have it tintier than have that BS and nonsense caused by the tone. So again, I come in and this time I'll just grab a Q1 again. And again, that rule that we learned, put it in the right spot. So after the Q3 from before, and again, I could put it before the Q3 if I wanted, but it's easier to keep things in a chain going one after the next after the next. And again, since we're doing the low end, I'll go like this. I want this one, and I want to go like that. And I want to turn this into a low pass, high pass, low pass. Low pass, there we go. And then I want to ramp this. Always do it wrong. Ramp this up. Just slide it back a little. And again, you watch and you listen. Now it's hard when you're in the room with the sound. I did about a decade, maybe less than a decade, of mixing in the same room. Meaning, drummers, band members, they're all playing right in the room I'm in. And I got headphones on. And no matter how good the headphones are, you're going to get bleed. This is the same problem I'm having right now. That Xbox, 4 feet from me, 3 feet from me, 2 feet from me. I'm not going to get away from it. I'm going to hear it through my earbuds. So I need to rely on the visuals that I'm taking care of the audio issue. This is the reason that vMix plugins are amazing. Span, meaning the spectrum analyzer, is free. I'm telling you right now, there are better spectrum analyzers, and if you can afford them, buy them. Visually seeing audio is worth $1 billion. People hear you first and see you second. And if your audio stinks, you're done. Now, something I can tell is I'm getting a sibilance. So that'll be the next thing we attack. But let's do this first. Let's see what it looks like before. I mean, this is what it looks like before. And then boom, we had the effect. And that's rolled it off enough. It's still there. And if I was really picky, maybe I'd go and take it away the rest. But the problem is, and if you see my cursor, if I come in and kill this, dead, done. What will happen is these tones in here, which are actually my voice, because you can see my voice is interacting with it, it'll kill those too. So I'm not going to be negating the issue. I'm just going to be reducing it. And the answer for every audio guy in the audience is saying, move the Xbox farther away. Fix the Xbox noise. That is always the answer. Fixing the problem instead of putting a Band-Aid on the issue is a much better way. Isn't that true? Isn't that true?
that true?
And it is. So, next, I noticed that I'm tinty and I've got a sibilance. I've paid money for yet another plugin to specifically take care of that issue. And it's loading right now. Once it loads, I will add it. It is the Sibilance Stereo, Sibilance Live Stereo, or the NS1. Now, again, I'm going to add the NS1, and I am going to put it in the proper place. I do not want it before the EQs. In a normal situation, you want it before. Let me turn it off real quick. In a normal situation, you want that before the EQs. These EQs are not what I call normal EQs. These are fixing EQs, fixing dumb mistakes that exist in my system. Buzz, hum, and unfortunately, click and pop, you can't EQ. But buzz and hum, you can EQ to a certain extent. And the high pitch 15771 tone, that is what I call a buzz. It's like a constant. And the hum is literally a fan hum. It's what they call it. If you were to say, hey, I've got a loud Xbox, they would say you actually have a fan hum. So now I'm coming along and I am fixing my sibilance. And again, this will be hard to see. Sibilance is not something that shows up on a spectrum analyzer right there, right now. Now watch. I will create sibilance and you can see it, but it is not clear like when I take these Q1s off and you have a tone that goes through the roof. You can see that clear as day now. But when I go 1, 2, 3, 4, bye-bye. All gone. Or to a point where it's not ringing in your ear. Now, what's funny is I can't hear that tone. I'm old. It's what I call mosquito tone. So it would actually annoy younger people more than it annoys me because I can't actually hear it. That doesn't mean I can't see it. And I could trace my system and try to find the root cause and fix the root cause. 900% best option. Fix root cause every time. Fix the root cause. Fix it. But in this situation, I can't. Now, I just noticed something. I have that cut off. It's been cut off the whole time. Let me see if I can fix that cut off. Because it's kind of annoying that it's cut off. Maybe. Maybe. Okay. I'm just checking to see which one's the right one. I'm going to go like that. And I apologize to everybody for not getting it right at the front. But you know what? Sometimes when you're working live or when you're recording stuff, you think you get it right. And then sometimes you have to come back and you have to make minor changes here or minor changes there. Now I'm looking at my screen and I'm noticing that it's still getting chopped off. So let me see what I can do to bring that back. Now is it there that it's getting chopped off or here? Oh, that was a mistake. And now I'm gonna have to do something. Sorry. I pressed the wrong button. And because of that, I messed it up. What I needed was the main. Because what I've done is I've just zoomed in on that portion of the master image. And what that allows you to do is use a very cool feature in vMix called merge. And I will show you merge right now. So merge allows me to go between the main screen and the insert screen. And that has a much cooler look and feel than just basically cutting between the two. So I'm going for a cool look and feel, and this is how I get it. Now, I need to be on the correct inputs in order for me to get that cool look and feel. So, like that. Merge, merge, merge. So basically we're merging into the picture frame, which is my desktop. Now we're going to go back to Spectrum Analyzer, and we're going to go back to my plugins, and we were actually in the process of working on sibilance. Yeah, you see it pretty good there now. So, gonna turn it on. Sibilance. And now I'm going to turn it up. Sibilance. Sibilance. Now see how I've become a little bit duller. Sibilance. But when it was off, sibilance. When it's on, sibilance. And I don't want to peg this out because now I sound like I'm underwater. Sibilance. But I'll go around 75, sibilance. And now it's not harsh anymore. When I make S's and stuff like that, it's still there. I'll crank it a little bit more. But if you notice, this tone in here is squashied. Let's see what they have as option. Voice podcasts, which is basically what I'm doing. Sibilance. Nah, I don't dig it. I wanna pump it up a little bit more. Sibilance. There we go. And I always forget, Waves has an on-off button. Nah, that's just telling me about it. Hey, how do you close? Oh, okay, like that. Okay, that's to audition the two. 75. Oh, that's the GUI. 100. Sibilance. I always forget how to turn this off. There's a way to A/B it or to mute it. So I'll go with this. Sibilance. Now, so we fixed. And another thing that you can do, which again is the difference between using a plugin and using a real world fix. I'm going to grab one of my hats. I really do need to grab. I bought gloves at the store. They're basically mittens or fingered gloves. They're not mittens. Each finger, I would cut off one of the fingers and I would use that as a wind blocker. So now I've added a hat. I literally took a hat. And if you listen without the sibilance on anymore, sibilance, there's a big difference. And don't take my word for it. Look at the Spectrum Analyzer. Sibilance, and now I'll throw the hat on. Give me a sec. Got to get it to a more meshy part. Sibilance. It cuts it down. Now this is where you use what is called a wind screen. And then, to make it even better, add the NS1. Add the NS1. And I'm going to lower the NS1 now. Because I have added a wind blocker, and I'll get a legit wind blocker, like a windscreen in a bit. But for now, I just threw a hat on it. Like literally, you can just take a hat off your head and throw it on there. And now the sibilance is there, but it's not punchy in the face annoying. I will turn up the NS1 just a little. And again, I might not be using these tools right. I mean, that's part of the process. You learn, and there are 3 plugins with the NS1. I just picked the first one because it's the one that seemed like the right thing. Now look, my audio doesn't look like crap anymore. I don't have a 15771K tone. I don't have in the background. When it makes sounds, it's not off the chart. So now we can finally get to what I call the starting point, which was to convert this $100 dynamic microphone with a very tight supercardioid pattern. The reason that's important is you're not hearing these clicks because the mic will reject them. Put it in front of the mic, you hear it. Put it behind the mic, it rejects it. Condenser mics do not work that way. Condenser mics, and yeah, they're great mics, but you better make sure your room doesn't have any audio issues. You better make sure nobody's driving by. This is the same issue you will have with a shotgun mic. Shotgun mics have a similar issue. And shotgun mics, unfortunately, have the disadvantage of being very directional, but also picking up room noise. Supercardioid, in my opinion, is a better way to go. I've watched a couple of videos of people saying a similar thing, and I think it's true.
Isn't that true?
I do believe it is.
Isn't that true?
I still believe it's true. So, next things next. We're going to add the IK Multimedia TRS-5 room mic. Wow, super loud. And I don't even know. I'm almost at the end of my trial, and I'm going to probably pick this up for a longer amount of time. Okay, so left. Okay, I want it in the center. There we go. That's the right combination. How can you tell? The way I can tell. How can you tell, Tick? How can you tell, Mr. Shoemaker? When I hit the M, I mean, not the M. When I hit the L right, and then I hit the L, now it's pumped up on the left side. When I hit the right, MR, okay, it's middle. This is the one I think I want. I think. I could be wrong. Been wrong plenty of times. Now, my voice has a fuller sound. I will pump this volume and I will get rid of the L1 Ultra Maximizer. Because what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get my volume to the proper level and what I like before I put the L1 Ultra Maximizer on it. So just bear with me. I'm going to keep the input gain at 0. I am going to, oh no, I'm going to keep the input gain right there. Now this is proximity, and I think proximity, I'm not sure exactly what it does. And I have no idea what this does. So I'm going to use my eyes and my ears, and we're going to take a quick break. I got to go grab my puppy, but I'm going to keep the tape rolling. I'm coming, Mr. Puppy. So I am back, and you can probably hear me better now, and you probably heard me a little bit when I was walking around the house, but if we were on a condenser mic, you would have been able to hear everything I just did clear as day. It is the advantage and the disadvantage of a condenser mic, and oof, I don't know what happened to my setup in the 7 seconds that I left, but wow, what a pain. And so the other thing that I'm trying to do is get into a similar position that I will be in when I'm playing the game. Get the mic set up in the exact same spot that I will have it while I'm playing the games, so that I am actually testing this exactly how it will be during the actual show. Okay, we're almost 40 minutes in. This is taking forever. And that is the truth of setting up a microphone. It's not going to be done in 5 minutes. You have to spend some time. So input gain, it's pretty hot, but I'm going to go with it. And now, let me see if I can use my eyes and ears to see how this plugin is working with the audio. So check 1, 2, check 1, 2. And where is the on off on this? It's one thing I don't know about this. Oh, okay. That's not it. I have no idea. Okay, we're just gonna go like this for now. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Oh, I know what I can do. Dope, dummy dumb. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2, test 1, 2. So this is how I can do an A/B between with and without. And again, I'm gonna throw, let me throw the L1 Ultra Maximizer on real quick. Geez, that was so wrong. Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. So with an L1 Ultra Maximizer, as you bring this down, it pumps up the volume, and then it will never go pretty much above this highest point. So if I wanted it super quiet, I could go like this. But honestly, it's an Ultra Maximizer, meaning you're trying to get the most out of it. Now, the reason you don't leave it down here is because it's providing compression for anything that goes above this. So you want to put it closer to the end of where your audio is going to come in. Now, here's what's interesting, to me at least. When I turn this mic room on, because the Ultra Maximizer comes on after it, you will see a jump on the left side. And of course, we've got to get that back on screen. That jump, see how high it went? And what I can do is I can come back into the input on this and just lower it so that it's closer to what the other one was. So that when I'm doing my quote unquote A/B testing, you will see that the audio, and get my spectrum analyzer on screen. I do not need the Ultra Maximizer anymore. I've set the level pretty close to where I need it. And so now when I turn this on and off, you will see it adds a thickness to my overall voice. Now I'm still quiet. I want myself a little bit louder. So I am going to take this, and I need to look at the Ultra Maximizer at the same time. And I'm going to take the rack and I'm going to pump up the volume a little. Still don't know exactly what these buttons do, but I need to get things set before I can do some testing. Ultra Maximizer. Test 1, 2, and I want this about here. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. That'll be good. And then I'll take this up a little bit higher. What you want to avoid is red. If you noticed, when I made that sound, it went red. So that's why I typically keep it at 2 or 3. So if it gets really loud, it still never clips. Now, the other thing that you can do is there are other plugins that allow you to set it to what's called broadcast standard. And again, they cost money, so I don't have them. If you have an unlimited budget, you can have an unlimited number of plugins. And if your computer is fast enough, you can use all of them all the time. Again, use what you can to do what you can with what you're able to do. So spectrum analyzer and the mic room. So now what we're going to do, we're going to twiddle knobs. Best part of being an audio engineer, my opinion. I just wish I had real knobs. Knobs are fun to spin. So now I'm going to look visually on the spectrum analyzer down here. I'm going to listen with my ears, and I'm going to make changes to the two things. I have no idea what they do. I really don't know what any of this plugin does. Let's be honest. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to change the proximity and see what happens and see where my voice goes. I actually can hear a minor difference. And when I look at it, I can see a bit of a difference. And I, for my taste, like it about here. Now I'm going to take the last one, which is Harmonics. It's hard to read because they put it at the control board. So this says Harmonics. And I'm going to lower it to nothing. Harmonics, none. And I'm going to take it to the maximum and see Harmonics. And again, I find all the way up, not great. And I find all the way down, not great either. And let me see. I actually felt like it over here was pretty good. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. Huh, kind of a toss up. And again, your ears will get better with time. I have crappy earbuds right now. I probably should have my high-end studio headphones on because I am a moron. And this is where I will probably have to change to my high-end headphones, and this will all reset. So I'm just going to finish up with my earbuds. When you're doing audio work, invest in good cans, as they call it. I'm using my Confidence Monitor earbuds. Yeah, you have audio. I can hear it. Yes, there's game audio. I can hear it. These weren't designed for what's called critical listening. They're designed to be an inexpensive pair of earbuds. My studio headphones are exactly the words. They are exactly what the words say they are. They are studio headphones designed for critical listening. They're not the most expensive and they're not the cheapest, but they do a much better job of giving me feedback to provide me the ability to go, this sounds like crap, or this sounds great. So now I'm just going to leave it here. I'm digging it. It's good. I'm solid with that. And now I have a full chain with fix, 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 lots of fixes. 7 of them actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 fixes. I have hums, I have buzzes, and I have sibilants. And I can tell you, in the future, I will be fixing the Xbox. I will be putting a real windscreen on. And I will be trying to trace where that 15771 tone came from. If I limit those 3 things, I will probably be able to get rid of 5 out of the 6 because I will probably still keep a semblance on there because that is just something that happens. Now, the last thing that I should probably do is just add a general EQ, just a general EQ. And a general EQ to me, I normally grab a 6. And the reason I grab a 6 is it gives me flexibility. I now have 6 channels that I can affect the audio with. And again, I need to put it in the proper spot after the mic, but before the Ultra Maximizer. Turn on span. And last but certainly not least, we've got them both on screen. And again, personal taste. I just want to make myself sound better. So I will go through and I will raise some things to make myself sound a little bit fuller and a little bit thicker, cut out some tones that may be annoying. And again, personal taste. And last but certainly not least, I'm not going to finalize this until I put real studio headphones on, because it wasn't until this point that I went, you know what? Not hearing enough. And I need to send this through real headphones to get me a better sound. But I will tell you, comparatively to what I used audio-wise yesterday, this is amazing. Absolutely bomb solid. Awesome. So what I will do now is call it a day. I will close the Spectrum Analyzer. I will save this, and then I will stop the recording because we are far enough down the rabbit hole that I feel confident that if I play Skate 2 right now, I won't sound like garbage because I sounded like garbage yesterday. So next things, I want to do this before I close this out because it is also an audio thing. I am going to turn Skate 2 on, and I'm going to get that volume to where I need it. Now, here's the problem, just for anybody out there in the studio audience. Let me get off of this screen and flip to my normal screen. And you will hear potentially an increase in hum when it switches to the game, because that's basically... Okay, so now you can hear the audio from the game. And again, with the game audio, wrong one. With the game audio, is that virtual? No, that's the capture. And up, audio, general, audio. And again, the same thing I did before, I will do here. If I want to see this exact audio at this exact place, because I always tell people, put span, meaning the spectrum analyzer, at the end, in the master of your chain. So this is the audio from the game. And look, there's that stupid hum again. And I have a feeling it's some kind of video audio cable. So I'll come in here and I will add the plugins that we had before. I'll add 2 of them, because right away, I know I'm going to need at least 2. So I'll come down to waves, come down to Q1, and I'll just add 2 of them right away. I won't even fix them yet. Add 1, Q1, I'll do the 1577K, and again, I'm going to get this over here, and the audio is off the chart right now. So what I want to do is go like that, and we'll get into the potential lawsuit ability right now, because that's really the issue with game audio. You'll understand once I explain what I'm talking about. 15771, and turn it on. I will do a super tight band, and I'll pump down the volume. And did I make the classic mistake that the Q1 is after span? Yes, I did. So now I will go back and look at it, and it's lower, but it's not that low. So on the second Q1, and now I will, span, did the opposite. And look, it's gone already. I don't really need to do anything. In fact, I didn't have to take it that low this time. So I will take away that Q1, and I'll come in here, and I'll look at it, and this is peaking like crazy. So what I'm gonna do is, and again, I can't, I've got to stop this game. So funny to me. I hope I don't get hit with the copyright strike. And that's what we're going to discuss in 2 seconds. So now I come into the Q1 stereo. I'm actually going to change this into a high cut, or a high cut, and I'm just going to take out all that high end. The other thing I'm going to add is, and in general, cancel. I need to make sure I haven't pumped this volume. Yeah, this gain is really low, and I don't have what's called a pad. If you notice the pre over here, it's really, really hot. It's really loud, but I don't have the ability to put a pad on it to take it -10, and it's actually clipping. So because of that, the way to fix that is actually outboard gear, meaning that, and let me turn this audio off real quick. So the way that I would fix that, and you're going to be able to hear it a little bit because it's on my television in the background, but the way that I would fix that is that I would send it through a mixer, and then the mixer, I would turn the volume down. And in this situation, I would actually use my audio interface. So I would take the audio from the game into my audio interface, which has what are called gain knobs, and I would turn the gain knobs down. And I do believe my audio interface has what are called pads. Pad basically drops it audio-wise, like -10, I do believe. And you typically would use those on drums, because drums are just ridiculously loud. So again, see how it's going red? Oh, you can't see it going red because I have the game on screen. Dope. Let me switch real quick. Merge. There we go. So it's loud. It's way off, and I have no ability on the gain structure for vMix to go below 0. I have no pad. So like I said, I'd have to take this to an outboard mixer, bring it around, and then go from there. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go into that audio chain, go into the audio settings, and I got to get that music off. And this is probably going to be my greatest problem with this game. I'm going to have to probably disable the audio through the whole entire game. I don't mind the effect sounds, but like the skateboard and stuff. But if you have game sounds on, there we go. If you have game sounds on and it's music, you'll get hit with a copyright strike. It's just the way it is these days. It did not used to be that way, but it has become that way. So now, as I did before, everyone's favorite plugin, Ultra Maximizer. And I'm not using the Ultra Maximizer like I did last time. Let me put it before span. So let's get span up here on screen. Let's get the Ultra Maximizer on screen. Wrong one. Wrong way, Johnson. Span, Ultra Maximizer. Now, if you look at this volume, it is off the charts. As I told you, it's very loud. So I will pull this down and compress it a little. I don't need to compress it much, but then I will also bring this down. And what that will give me the ability to do is this audio won't spike as much. It will not go through the roof every single minute. And it will give me the ability to actually use what is called a volume knob. Now I've taken it from there down to here. And now I can turn this volume up and down and see how the volume goes up and down. Now, one thing that you will notice is you're not hearing it. And that's because they're playing music. And as soon as they play music, I've got to make sure to keep it quiet. So here we go. There's my skate audio. And now I can bring it in and I can kind of level it out to hear my own voice. Again, as I said before, put a span and an Ultra Maximizer at the end of your chain. Again, the reason that I put an Ultra Maximizer at the end of the chain is just to fix the audio going out to the world, that if I screwed up before I got to there, it doesn't actually have a problem. And I'll show you the Ultra Maximizer here. It's all the way at 0 and at minus 2.2. And so that's to keep it from spiking. And again, if you're listening to this, you can barely hear me right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna roll lower. There we go. And now you can hear me again. And now I can play my game, throw my board down, and jump. Run and jump. Whoop. And kick away from the cop. Bye, cop. And yes, I'm getting better at this game. Whoop. Except when I fall on the ground. And that's been me fixing my audio. So now, hopefully, I don't sound like I did yesterday. I sounded like junk yesterday. And now today I've been killed twice because I'm not good at this game. So now, when I'm playing this game, you can hear my volume. Whoop. Oh, that was dumb. Okay, so throw my board down. Oh, that's the easy way. I don't like it that way. There we go. And I killed myself. Anyway, that's me playing the game for 7 seconds, but now you can hear me better. Now I actually sound good. Clobbered. What? Oh, this is going to be fun to bomb. Okay, so drop the board. Drop board. And jump. Jump on the board. Hey, jump on the board. Drop the board. Now you see there is a button you can use that you can do them both together, but I want to learn the hard way. Now I kick, and let's go bomb that. Boop. Reverse. Reverse. Go the other way. Of course, I can't go the other way. So we'll have to bomb that another day. So that's been me fixing my audio. Hopefully now I don't sound like junk like I did yesterday. Yesterday, all you could hear was the hum from the Xbox. So today, hopefully you can hear my voice. You can hear me talking. Hear me going, ah, I just died again. Oh my gosh. And you can barely hear the audio of the game. It's not drowning me out. And this is the major problem with any major game. They have copyrighted music. So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. I will probably send it through what I call an audio scrambler. And we'll do that in the next lesson, and we'll do that in the future. Have an amazing day. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Mr. Shoemaker, aka Rich Shoemaker, and I go by Tick, as that's my nickname. I got a lot of nicknames, but Tick is my nickname. Tick plays games. Thank you very much for stopping by. You're still here? What are you doing? You've got things to do. Go do stuff. And if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. make sure to subscribe. And I've got more videos on the way for vMix, my micro studio, which we're in right now, and a lot of other interesting and crazy content. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below. Normal stuff, thumbs up, that kind of stuff. Have an amazing day.